Hi everyone. Welcome to Tips to Enjoying and Avoiding Holiday Treats with me. My name is Mikaela Cradit, and I am so excited to give you my tips and tricks to staying on track for this holiday season. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. First of all, I'd like to welcome you all. Congratulations, because by tuning in, you have already taken a step to bettering your health. I'd like to introduce myself a little bit. I have been working at the Nutritional Healing Center of Ann Arbor for over 2 years now. I have done everything from starting as a front desk employee to becoming a patient advocate. I am currently a diet advisor here at the office, so I kind of keep people on track with their dieting and their nutrition while also holding them accountable in other ways in their health, and kind of making custom meal plans for them. So that's what I do right now. Growing up, I was definitely introduced to whole food nutrition super early on because it was a huge goal of my mom's to just instill really healthy lifestyles, along with recipes and food, and just that was a really big norm around our house growing up. So I've been really lucky. It's not something new to me, but I do learn something new every day. So I'd love to pass that on to you. My goal for this is just to help you all have a really successful holiday season, to not feel bad if you do have those little indulgements, but to just be smart about it. Um, so let's go ahead and get started, because no matter what you celebrate, it tends to be that the menu is filled with some sugar at some point. So let's figure out how to enjoy it and avoid it all at the same time. All right, so first off, I would like to kind of tell you guys why it's important to avoid sugar at all costs. Um, it tastes so good that sometimes it's hard to imagine why we should cut it out. So, first off, I would say that there are plenty of reasons to avoid it, or at least limit it in your daily life. The list could go on and on, but for starters, a few huge benefits would be it, number one, decreases inflammation in your body. So, whether it's chronic pain that you suffer from, or gut irritability, or just weight gain in general, all of this can be thrown off because sugar is causing higher inflammation in your body. So, if you cut this out, you might lose fluid, or you might lose weight, or you might start to notice that your digestion is better. Either way, these are all great things. Um, Chronic pain is also really triggered. So, if you suffer from arthritis, sugar can be a huge trigger for that. So, track your foods. Notice how you feel after consuming sugar. If you notice that it's a trigger for you, just cut it out. Another thing is you can regain focus if you cut out sugar. So once the initial brain fog that some people experience when they first eliminate sugar is gone, your brain tends to work much quicker and sharper. So some people describe it as that they just can think quicker, and others are like, I just get to the answer faster. Either way, if you're providing your brain with those healthy fats that it needs and you're eliminating sugar, you're on the right track to having an awesome brain in general, really. Another thing is when people suffer from fatigue or they don't want to wake up in the morning, cutting out sugar can really boost your energy. So, at first, some people first feel tired when they cut out sugar from their diet. This is normal, but it usually goes away super quick. Um, then you start to realize that they actually have more energy throughout the day, so less naps, less crashing. I think everyone at some point in their life kind of experiences that 4 p.m. or maybe for some people 2 p.m. crash, depending on when you eat your lunch or what you eat for lunch. But it's not something that you have to deal with forever. And if you cut out sugar, you'll notice that eventually you just don't crash because you're not coming down from that. So that's another really important thing, especially if you're working long hours, especially if you're doing things throughout your day where you just don't have the time to crash. This can be really life changing if you cut out sugar. Another thing, obviously, this is probably the most common reason that people cut out sugar. You can promote weight loss super quick. So, sugar can and will halt weight loss, it will plateau you. If you cut out sugar, you will notice that you quickly will lose fluid, if not shrinking pant sizes, if not just losing weight in general all over. And last but definitely not least, your skin can really suffer if you're eating a lot of sugar. So, simply put, collagen is what makes up your skin. And when you eat sugar, collagen can get cross linked. So, if you just can replace that collagen in your body with either a supplement or a drink that you like, that can be really helpful. So if you're noticing that you're looking older, or you're having wrinkles, or you're having dryness, or some breakouts, if you cut out sugar, you might notice that gets a lot better. So that would be one of the first things that I recommend to people that are struggling with acne or just skin that they don't want in general. All right, so next we're going to talk about kind of a timeline of what happens when you do end up eliminating or even just starting to limit sugar. So the first step is to just get rid of it. So some people prefer to go cold turkey, that's easier for them. Some people like to slowly decrease their intake over time. Either way, if you choose to limit sugar, you're going to start noticing changes quickly after. Once you do start, whether it's eliminating it or, like I said, just slightly decreasing, some people will notice a slight headache. They might feel sluggish. It's not necessarily a bad thing, and it does go away very quickly. This is just your body getting used to operating without that normal sugar that it gets. This usually goes away within a week or less. And then one of the best things that you start to feel is you'll wake feeling energized. So whether that means that it's just easier to get out of bed in the morning, or that you just feel ready to go when you first wake up and that's never happened for you, or you just don't need to press the snooze anymore. This is one of my favorite feelings because it just makes you start your day on such a better note if you're not dragging in the morning. So this is what a lot of people notice quickly after they cut out sugar in general. Another thing, obviously, like what I've mentioned before, is you'll start to lose weight no matter what. Whether you're shrinking pant sizes, whether you're losing fluid, like I said, you're going to lose weight. It's just what happens when you start eating better. Lastly, although a lot of things happen in between, you've now done it. You've cut sugar from your diet. You will feel better overall. You will notice that there aren't any more cravings. You don't want a late night snack of ice cream. That just doesn't sound good to you anymore because you know how you'll feel in the morning. You might notice that your arthritis doesn't flare up when it's cold anymore because you cut out sugar. That would be worth it to me. You might notice that you have less fatigue. It's easier for you to get up in the morning, or, anything. That just means that you've done that for yourself. You did it. You cut out sugar. That's what you're doing it for. So just feeling better overall makes it worth it. Next, I'd like to tell you guys a couple different alternatives for white refined sugar. So, it's super easy to say to stop sugar, but what do you do when you're trying to cook and you need something to replace it? So I'm going to give you guys a couple options just to kind of give you natural sweeteners rather than using that white refined sugar. So my go-to for teas would be organic honey. It sweetens it while not making it taste too sweet, in my opinion. Another thing that's super specific that I like honey in is cranberry sauce. I used this at Thanksgiving and avoided using a cup of sugar in what the cranberry sauce that I did called for. And I actually liked it a lot better. No one really noticed a difference, and it's worth a shot, at your next holiday gathering. Stevia is definitely not my favorite. A lot of people like it a lot. It's definitely worth a shot if you're trying to kind of wean off of sugar at first. Um, for me, it kind of leaves an aftertaste. However, there is a soda that if you're going to drink pop or you're trying to not drink as much pop, it's called Zevia, Zevia. It's sold at most grocery stores. Um, that I think would be my go-to if you're trying to get off of those sugary sodas. So there's definitely other options, but stevia it's better than sugar. Monk fruit is great in coffee. They even have it at Starbucks. I can't personally notice too much of a difference than a normal sweetener. They also even sell this at Meijer. So it's definitely accessible. It's definitely possible. And monk fruit is awesome in baked goods too. Dates, I'm a little bit more careful with. They have a very particular taste. but they are normal tasting. And banana bread, I know for sure, as well as coconut sugar and maple syrup. Those are both really good for baked goods. I did a lot of experimenting with this during quarantine this year, and banana bread especially. It's just such a easy, I think, kind of dessert to make while still being able to make it healthy. So that's something to try. I think that would be my, first piece of advice is just to try the alternative sweeteners, see if you like it, and then at least you'll know, what you tolerate and what you don't. So the next thing I'd like to show you guys is just some resources that I personally use during the holidays, but also all year round. So the first one is called All Day I Dream About Food. They have actually 30 to be exact low carb holiday recipes. So if you're hosting at your house and you're worried about pleasing people that don't necessarily eat the way you do, but you still want to keep it able to eat for yourself, then this one's really good. Another one would be the Whole30. So if you're on the Whole30 diet, they have a whole guide for the specifically for the holidays. Weston A. Price. This is also another one that's good all year round, but they have 7 tips to healthy eating during the holidays, which is super helpful, of course. And then the Atkins site. They have really good holiday treat recipes that are semi-healthy, while still, like I said, pleasing and hosting and just making other people happy with those traditional treats while still being able to keep yourself in control. So these are all just different websites. They all have social medias too. So just check them out and see if you can make it work for yourself and for everyone. All right, so next I'm going to give you just some last realistic ways to reduce sugar intake, especially during the hardest time of year, in everyone's opinion. First being offer to be the one that brings dessert to the party. So a lot of people, they don't want to just show up with nothing, but no one's on the keto diet like they are, or no one's on the specific diet like they are, so they don't really know what to bring. Bring a dessert, but bring a semi-healthy one. And you don't have to necessarily tell people that it's semi-healthy, just, bring what you bring and offer it to people, and if they want it, they want it. Um, you could always, of course, host the party yourself. This isn't ideal for everyone, but at least that way it's in your control. You get to control what the menu is, so it's worth a shot. If you're able to do it, do it. Plan out your cheat snacks. So don't assume that every day will be perfect. You can plan out a day where you're like, I'm going to have a brownie and I'm going to be okay with that. That's fine, but don't make yourself go for so long that then you end up binging a week later because you just couldn't do it anymore. Just take it slow, accept that you're not always going to be perfect, and just be better the next day. Get back on track. It'll all be okay. And then lastly, I'd say just try and eat a big meal before you go to a party. So it's going to be a lot easier to stay in control if you're not starving when you get to the get together, um, than if you get there and you're like just ravaging for anything. So that's just a couple of realistic ways. Get in contact with me. I can try and make some more specific to you. And then let's see here. The next slide that I want to show you guys is just kind of where to start. So it's super easy to tell you to eliminate sugar, but where should you actually begin to do that and actually begin to restore your health? So I would say in a couple previous slides, I had said that collagen is really important for your skin. So a couple of my favorite collagen sources would be collagen ECM, which is a powder that we sell at the office. It's by Systemic Formulas. This one is really, really good. It doesn't have too much of a taste, but it's really good. It's a supplement just at restoring your collagen. So, really good to have on hand, whether you just need it in the winter or you just need it during certain times of year. Stays good all year, really good to have. Another favorite of mine can be found at Costco. I'm not sure where else they sell it, but it's called Vital Proteins Collagen Water. It has 10 grams of protein, 10 grams of collagen. It's delicious. It comes in multiple different flavors, and it's you can restore your collagen without even realizing that you're doing it. So why not try it, right? Another one would be where I find my recipes. I get asked this all the time. These are just a few of my favorites, but the Modern Proper, this is a website. You can filter between convenience, low carb, keto recipes, whatever is most important to you. Another one would be Primal Peak. This one focuses on farm to table recipes. So, motivation, also tips to getting your family on track. all of that stuff. That's what Primal Peak's goal is to do. They are two women that they've gone through it themselves, so they're just trying to tell you all about it so that you're aware. And then the lastly, appetite for energy. This one has like lists of low carb foods and alternatives to those holiday favorites that you see everywhere and how to still make them, but make them a little bit more healthy. And then lastly, I get asked a lot what grocery stores I go to help make the holidays more nutritious. So, of course, locally, I love Arbor Farms. I love Fresh Time. Those are my go-tos. Plum Market is amazing as well. They have so many great holiday like gifts and just ideas, but ways to stay super organic. But not everyone has access to that. So Meyer, I've learned, has an amazing organic section. It's not always overpriced, so it's actually a really good resource. Trader Joe's, they have all over. Those are awesome. Whole Foods, they have all over. Those are great too. So I would just recommend trying them. It's as it becomes more popular, organic foods are becoming way more accessible. So just look for it, keep an eye out, you will find them places. So next, I'd like to just show you guys my sources. Of course, I always learn the most from working at the office and just being around all the practitioners there and listening day in and day out. But these are the sites that I used and that I continue to use and that I probably will continue to use and that I actually recommend for everybody watching. Um, so if you're interested in getting in contact with any of us, I would like to personally help you make your 2021 correct and right and healthy and best for what's in store for you. So you can call us, you can email us, you can visit our website. Thank you for tuning in to the last seminar of 2020. I cannot believe it. I wish you guys the best holiday season and beginning to the new year. Thank you.